In 326 BCE, as dark monsoon clouds loomed over the vast expanse of Alexander's growing empire, from the windswept hills of Greece to the mysterious lands of India, a new and formidable challenge emerged. Alexander, whose ambition had carried him from the storied cities of Persia to the fertile banks of the Indus, now faced a rugged and unyielding opponent in Raja Porus. Porus, the proud and determined king of the land between the Jhelum and Chenab, was the last great barrier before India could be fully subdued. As Alexander's army gathered on the western bank of the swollen Jhelum River, the scene was set like a stage for destiny. His forces, numbering around 52,000 strong, with 40,000 foot soldiers, 7,000 cavalry, and an additional 5,000 troops from his ally Raja Ambhai of Taxila, stood ready to challenge the might of Porus's 50,000 warriors, which included a fearsome contingent of 130 elephants and 300 chariots. The relentless rains transformed the river into a roaring torrent, its swollen depths both a boon and a bane. For Porus, it was a natural moat, and for Alexander, a challenge to be overcome. The genius of Alexander's strategy lay not only in his military might but in his mastery of deception. While the Greek soldiers feigned endless readiness, drums beating, war cries echoing along the banks, the real plan unfolded in the shadows. Under the cover of night and the cloak of torrential rain, the Greek engineers labored to reassemble boats that had been dismantled and carted from distant attack. Their secret rendezvous on a hidden island, shrouded by dense the battle turned into a maelstrom of clashing steel and thundering hooves. Greek archers rained arrows upon the enemy, their projectiles finding gaps between the ranks of elephants and infantry. Meanwhile, Porus's elephants, trained for the chaos of combat, charged ferociously. Their massive tusks and swirling trunks wreaked havoc among the Greeks, instilling terror and chaos. Yet Alexander, ever the strategist, had anticipated this fury. His archers targeted the mahouts, severing the bond between man and beast, while his infantry pressed forward through the narrow gap that separated the elephants from the advancing soldiers. Soon, the once disciplined line of elephants began to falter as injured beasts roamed uncontrolled, turning against their own ranks and adding to the pandemonium. In the thick of battle, as the air filled with the acrid scent of smoke and blood, the two titans of the field met. Porus, though wounded by arrows and spears, refused to yield. He fought with the valor of a true king, even as his second son fell and his army faltered. For a fleeting moment, the battlefield seemed to hang in balance, a struggle not merely of armies, but of wills. When Alexander's hidden forces struck from the rear, the Indian line broke. Amid the chaos, Porus clung to his war elephant. Legend holds that as the beast knelt to prevent its master from falling, Porus, a giant of a man reputed to stand 7 feet tall, declared his kingship with a dignity that could not be diminished even in defeat. Alexander, witnessing this indomitable spirit, did not deliver the final blow. Instead, he ordered his best physicians to tend to the injured king. In a moment that would echo through the ages, as the great conqueror asked how Porus should be treated, the proud warrior replied simply, like a king to another king. Such was the mutual respect born in the crucible of battle, a respect that led Alexander to restore Porus's kingdom and even expand it. In the aftermath of the battle, as the thunder of conflict faded into a heavy, lingering silence, both armies bore the scars of an epic confrontation. The landscape was strewn with remnants of valor, broken chariots, abandoned weapons, and the mournful cries of warriors whose names would soon echo in the annals of history. Locals emerged from the shadows, bearing witness to a clash that transcended the ambitions of kings and conquerors. In hushed tones around flickering fires, villagers recounted tales of the fearless Porus who, even when encircled by defeat, chose dignity over surrender, a sentiment that would be immortalized in folklore for generations to come. The victory, though claimed by Alexander, carried an undeniable weight of mutual respect, an understanding that some battles leave legacies far greater than territorial gains. As the Greek forces regrouped and began their long, arduous journey back to Babylon, the echoes of the clash resonated across the land. In the hearts of both conquerors and the conquered, a new narrative was forged, one where bravery, strategy, and the unyielding spirit of resistance redefined the meaning of kingship. The battlefield became a crucible for future generations, a reminder that even the mightiest empires could falter in the face of resolute honor and unity. Stories of that monsoon-soaked day traveled far and wide, weaving themselves into the rich tapestry of history, where the legend of Raja Porus and his defiant stand against an unstoppable force would inspire countless souls to stand tall in the face of overwhelming odds.